See, what they don't know is they're tuning in to DBYT Podcast. My name is Taisha Hines, and this is my show where I'll explore the ins and outs of the world around me. You can tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. On tonight's episode, we will discuss how 2020 changed us for the better and what we will do in our current times to continue to better ourselves. I want to thank everyone who participated in the making of this episode. With that being said, let's get into it. Hey, Danielle.
Hello. Hey, Taisha. Hey, Sanai.
Hey, girl. Hey. We can start off with some questions about last year, a little reflection of 2020. What would you say was the single best thing that happened to you last year?
I came to an understanding about needing to break free, I would say. For this specific episode of this podcast, I named it The Normal as We Knew It. Mm-hmm. Only because of COVID, but honestly, last year, it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. We should have been more prepared because we wasn't, everybody wasn't prepared for this. But we should have been more prepared for what was coming. But last year, it was pretty good. It was a break-free moment.
I think COVID-19 happening at the time that it did helped me a lot because it happened during almost spring break. So it's I was already frustrated and ready to go home. And when that happened, they was a little extended spring break. And I was like, thank you, because I really don't want to go back to school.
But you know what? That's crazy because, you know how social media is, man. They didn't think, COVID was real. Some people think COVID is still not real. So they was man, I hope they extend this, another week. All we was hoping for, us college kids and us, kids, period, in school, we were just hoping for an extra week or extra 2 weeks. Nah. They made this extending home stay all year long. Yeah. We was not prepared for that. We bit off more than we can chew.
But I think it gave people the opportunity to actually look at themselves and be dang, since I'm stuck in this small space, what can I do with that time that I have? After, a few months of, this not changing, we still having to buy masks, sanitizers, stuff that people probably should have been buying already. But, I had took it as a mental break though, because it was just so much going on. And I think that was the best part of my year last year.
Honestly, it was a mental break for everybody because people was getting caught up in their own heads. It was just so much happening from bad stuff in the media, bad stuff in the world. Everybody just need the world was sit y'all ass down. Y'all need to sit down for real. Y'all wilding out too much, and that's on a serious note. With the shootings every day, the robbing every day, the flexing every day. Y'all going above y'all head. Y'all need to sit down. You can't do all this.
Yeah, and then I think that people wasn't taking the virus seriously because it wasn't impacting them personally. Maybe people in their family weren't getting sick or they weren't getting sick, and they're well, if I'm not getting sick, then is it really here? It was kind of weird. It was kind of like Bird Box. It really was. It was weird because when we saw the movie, we were why they just don't stay in the house? And then it happened to us, and we dang, okay, that's why. So nobody want to be locked up.
You got to see it to believe. You got to feel it to believe it. And it's everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody was a little skeptical, dang, what's really out there? People just dying because of no reason. Then you get people that's asymptomatic. They don't have any symptoms, and they can just pass them on to somebody who is symptomatic. Mm-hmm. And they get it and they go through it. But honestly, I've been talking to everybody else, I think COVID has been around. Because remember November, I would say October, November, December, almost everybody around me got sick. I even got real sick. Mm-hmm. And it was horrible. It was really horrible. And I got over in it took a month for me to get over, a month and a half for me to get over it. It was crazy.
Dang. Mm-hmm. What would you say the most challenging part of last year was then?
Really finding yourself, just learning how to sit down and be with yourself. Because, everybody just want to go out, pop out, and be around everybody. Everybody had to stay at home. That was the hardest part. And then stick to the protocol. Nobody want to wear masks like that at all. It's hot. It's hot. And then with glass, it falls the hell up. For real.
I heard you say that people had to basically find themselves. That's crazy because in my little notes, I had finding my way back to my happy place. after 2019, like when I turned 21 and got diagnosed with, you know, diabetes and all, it was like so hard to just find my confidence to do almost anything. Like I was just really over it. I had lost my sight and I was just like going through all these new medicines, all these new doctors, and I was like, you know, I'm trying to keep my head up because I'm in school trying to finish out my degree and everything. And it was just like that. I'm not even happy no more. Like when I started the podcast, I was like, this is it. This is where I want to be at. And then that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so discouraged. I stopped for like a year, you know. So that, I think that was the most challenging part of my year as well. Just finding a place to be happy again.
And that's understandable right there. That's really understandable. When you finally find something like good, it's stuff gonna push you to challenge you to see if you really want it, and this challenge you to see if you really want it. And right now, as you can see, you got through it. You're still pushing through with it. It taught us to sit down and appreciate what we have.
Definitely.
Like we don't have to go so hard to get everything because we want everything. It's just you don't have to go so hard for the wrong reasons, you know?
Yeah. Or especially talking to some people like that's close to me. They like, girl, you inspired me to do this or start this hobby or start this new trend or X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you really feel that about me? Like just off of these little 6 podcasts.
Yes. You never know who you are inspiring. Like you have supporters in the background that you don't even know about. Like everybody has somebody in the background that's rooting for them. Everybody has somebody in the background that's looking up to them. So whatever you're doing, you just have to be passionate about it and just keep doing it. You never know who you are helping. And that's everybody's not passion, but goal in life. Your number one goal in life is to find something and to help other people. For real. It's all it is. It's a circle of life. You got to help people.
Even if I don't have as many viewers as I used to, I still do it because I'm like, obviously people are listening, and as long as people listening, I'm gonna keep doing it because it's obviously helping somebody, whether it's motivating them or just having them smile at anything I say or laughing at the crazy junk we say on here. I just like helping people in that way because, you know,
it's connecting, it's networking. You always need people around you to help you, no matter what you go through. Even though you have your isolation moments, you always need to get out those isolation moments and connect with people around you because you never know who you can help and you never know who can help you in the simplest way.
That's true. Like everybody, I think, needs a strong foundation, whether that's your friends, your families, your coworkers, or whoever it is. It's like you need people who are going to uplift you in your time, especially when you're trying to start something new. That can make the difference.
And you got to understand, when you start something new, you're not going to have 100 people on your side. Shit, you might even have one person on your side.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start blowing up, you're going to start blowing up organically, like just, you know, steadily, slowly. And when you blow up, it's going to be 100,000 million people on your side. But you got to realize they like who you are now. They ain't want to bother with you coming up. They like who you are now. So you got to stick to those people. Like, yeah, give them what they want. But you always have to remain true to the people who you started out with.
Yeah, and on top of that, when you do blow up, stay humble so you don't forget where you come from and know that the people that were there supporting you, and hopefully, you know, y'all still in good cahoots or whatever.
Because if you don't, it ain't pretty, man. It ain't pretty. Don't do that. Don't go down that route.
Speaking of things not being pretty, what has been the biggest change for you of 2020?
I would say like my mental state, because it made me think like I really gotta work towards something. Like I've been working towards something, but it's like, damn, Danielle, you're 21, man. You just turned 21 in this pandemic. You're officially an adult to society. You have to get your shit together. You have to get a foundation. You have to build towards this because you don't want to look back, because time be going by fast. It's hell. You don't want to look back 10 years from now and still be doing the same thing at all. So it's like, it's a mental thing. You have to glow up. You have to glow up in everything. You have to glow up mentally, have to glow up physically, you have to glow up spiritually, because you just cannot be stagnant in the same place. That's my fear, to be stagnant in the same place. I'm constantly overthinking. I'm constantly want to move around. And it's hard. It's really hard because I can't move around how I used to move around. And that was really my startup in 2019. I began moving around, being more experimental, having more experience with things I want to do. And all of a sudden, COVID just came and smacked me in the face. And it's like, dang, I got to sit down somewhere and figure out how to sit down and maneuver from home.
Yeah.
I don't like sitting on the couch all day. I like going out and venturing. And Taisha, we both know this. When we was in college, we used to go out every day
Yeah.
to find adventure. We didn't even care if we went out and people watched. That was something to do.
This past year was a weird one because it's like every quarter I was losing another friend or somebody in my life, and it was crazy because it was like at first it started off with either you talk less or people doing things that they say they weren't going to do again. And people disrespecting you, talking down on you, or you find out that people don't see you the way that you thought they did. It was a lot of that this year, and it was hard to overcome it because you got some of your best friends or people that you talk to almost daily. You try to be understanding with them, and then you notice like, hey, we have grown apart and we have like matured at different rates, and not like where we were at the same level now we're not, because I see myself growing and I see you staying in that same position, and now I know that our time is up.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. And it's crazy. Me and my boyfriend, we be talking about the same thing. Because honestly, now you're saying that everybody has been going through that. It's people around us that just been drifting away. And for instance, like me and you, we drifted apart. But it wasn't like, oh no, like I'm disrespecting you or nothing like that. Really, I was down. Yeah. I was in my isolation period. And honestly, from my heart, that was selfish of me because you are a good friend. I should have let you know and everything. My phone went out. I just didn't. As soon as my phone went out, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I just had family on my phone. Your money got to me somehow. I was like, shit, she just get my number. We talked and everything. But for real, it's just isolation periods. And then like this pandemic showed people true colors. For real. Because it's like you sit in the house all day. You can't go out anyway. So you getting mad because you can't see each other. But it's like, come on now, it's a pandemic. I have a life, you have a life. We're both grown, we're both growing. We can't meet up all the time. We're creating a life for ourselves. We still have this friendship, but the friendship is not gonna be how we were in high school, middle school, elementary school. We're not on the same level. We don't see each other every day. We're still trying to get to the top pyramid of life. That's what we're trying to get to.
And I think that's like super okay, like with everybody. Like me, I try not to put too much pressure on my friends, especially when they start doing like going off in different paths in life, because like I so understand, like you're trying to start your life and you're trying to do things that's gonna eventually get you to the place that you want to get to. The thing that I do not understand is when one of my failed relationships this year, once before, he was in a relationship and then he cut me off. And then we got back to being friends again, and we had a conversation about how, I'm not going to do that to you anymore because that was not cool. I should have at least talked to you about it and let you know, like, oh, my girlfriend didn't like X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we can try our friendship again. We did it again, got another girlfriend, did the exact same thing. And from that, I'm like, okay, so obviously you can't keep your word. And that's where I just draw the line, because I'm like, we already can't see each other. Like, whether we live down the street or 3, 4, 5 hours away, keep your word. Don't do that. That's not cool. I think a lot of that happened a little bit in each of the like 4 to 5 relationships, that it was a little bit of that in all of them. So, yeah.
I understand that. You just have to watch out for them, for real. You gotta see how they play their role, and you gotta match that. You gotta see how you have to work with them, honestly. That's all you have to do. You have to switch up your way you work with them.
Also, the crazy part is, it's like once you try to talk to them or try to like come to a mutual agreement or whatever, it's crazy because they still disrespect you and everything. And then months later, you want to come back and be like, oh, I miss you. I'm sorry. And it's like, so what do you want me to do about that? Because now I saw how you treat me too many times. I gave you a lot of chances, and now that I stopped fooling with you, now you want to come and apologize. Like, that's real adult of you, but I can't fool with you. I accept your apology, but I can't deal with you anymore. Like, we all growing.
Yeah. But did you cut it off?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't continue to go backwards because I gotta grow for myself.
And that's all it's to it. Sometimes you gotta cut things off, and I'm not even gonna lie, because we never know how life works. It might come around the corner sometime, But
Yeah.
right now, you gotta cut it off for yourself, for your sanity, for your sake, for your protection. You have to cut it off. You can't deal with it at all. They're not willing to meet what you want,
Hmm.
and what you asking for is not a lot. It is not a lot at all.
Yeah, it's just
It
more
is
so
no.
just communicate and make sure we're on the same page. And even if it's not consistent updates of our communication, we need to try to just to make sure everybody's okay. I treat my friends in a way like I try to check up on people and I try to be involved in their lives, like not to be overbearing, but to make sure you good, you know. And then it's like the
Hmm.
second I either start putting time towards my own self or my own mental health, it's like, well, you're not here for me. Where have you been? I needed you and you weren't there. And it's like,
That's selfish.
whoa, you feel me? And then it's like, dang,
You
am
hit
I?
them with that. That's selfish.
It's like, am I the bad friend because of this one time? And I'm like, well, what they don't understand is I go above and beyond for them. And they think that's the normal. So when I do normal things like other people, they like, why are you slacking? And I'm like, whoa, chill out.
But that's your nature though. That's
Yeah.
really your nature. And you have to fix your nature around people. You can't go. It's sad to say. You got to put 50% in and then see if the other person match your 50%, which equals 100%, and that's how you know to go full in. And
Definitely.
if the action is reciprocated each time, and there you go. But that's selfish of them for real because they never know what you're going through.
Especially like growing up, I was more so like the leader type, the strong type, the hard heart, cold heart,
You were
whatever.
strong headed
Yeah. So it's
for real.
like they look at me like nothing can be wrong with me, but it's like I go through things just like y'all do. So even if I don't talk
Exactly.
about it, it's like I have a role to play, and sometimes I feel like the therapist in my groups. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
And honestly, the person who's the leader needs the most talking to, like, because you hold so much. You really hold so much down, and they don't understand that because they under your umbrella. They don't know how to be the leader, how to be the one who's take accountability. You know.
yeah, for everybody like in the group, because
Mhm.
at the times you looking at it and it's like they have their own pod and their pod is just connected to me, and I feel like a center point of a lot of people. So I feel like the nail that holds a lot of things together or stem connections and relationships between other people. So it's like y'all have to
Yeah, but
understand that I have a lot going on, and every time that y'all get upset with me, you can't lash out at me because I'm looking at that like I'm doing something wrong when I'm really not. I'm taking time for myself just like y'all do.
as that nail that you said, you putting too much pressure on that. You putting too much weight on that, and that nail can break.
That's
So
true.
sometimes you gotta loosen that nail up. You got to.
Hmm.
You just gotta tell them, hey, look, if you my friend, you gonna understand. If you don't, then you can just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are 21 years old. We have a whole life ahead of us. You know how many people we're gonna meet? For real.
With growing this past year, what area or areas in your life do you think you grew?
It just I grew up mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still growing up mentally. Like this year has changed a lot. Like from upping, moving from Valdosta, making the effort, the risk to move from there. Because like even if it sounds like a small risk, that shit like it was really like a big moment for me because I did not know. Even in the summer when I went back to Atlanta and I was at home, I didn't know I was gonna go back to Valdosta or just stay in Atlanta. I was like, I don't even know what to do. So I have to make a big girl decision on what I have to do because if I go back to Valdosta, I'm going to be paying rent
Mm-hmm.
regardless. Like that's money out my pocket. I'm gonna have to get a job. I have a car. I have things to take care of. If I move to Atlanta, yeah, I'll move back with my parents. That's less rent and everything. But I'm still trying to hustle and figure out like exactly what I want to do. And
Yeah.
then along the way in Atlanta, like even though I was in my parents' house for a little moment, I wasn't asking them for money. I was still paying for my books. I was still paying for my school. And I was still paying for my car. And I had to get a whole brand new car because I had gotten a wreck and I had to get that car myself. I had to pay my insurance myself. I was doing everything by myself except for rent because thank God for my parents.
Right.
And then I ended up in a relationship, and my boyfriend is older than me. So for him being older than me, he teaches me a lot. Like I can't be thinking in this little girl aspect that I always be thinking of. I can't get mad at little stuff. I gotta think of the bigger picture. And Taisha, the bigger picture is so this adult life is like it's the wig, man. It's the wig. If you really think about this adult life and how people be making it, they be finessing their way through life.
Yeah.
All these folk is finessers. That's what you have to do. You have to build your hustle and then figure out a way of finesse legally, not illegally, legally, because it's all they do. They finesse legally, which is illegal, but it's legally because they say it's legally. You know. So
Yeah.
like it's really been like a mental glow up. And it's not like I have reached my potential. I have not. I'm 21 years old. I'm still at like
climbing, you know?
Yeah, I'm climbing.
I say my probably top 5. I grew up in communication. I say that because I try to talk to people like they're adults, and I try not to belittle people when I talk to them, because sometimes I know I can have a more overtaking tone. And I really do try to be calm now, because usually like I'm used to like somebody say the wrong thing, snap, I'm breaking, I'm coming at you, you know, full force. And I really just try to see where people coming from a lot more these days. I try to have more patience with people, because I understand that everybody's not at the same level as I am. And not saying that in a cocky way, I'm just saying that to be realistic. Like some people think they are above others, and I gotta be like, okay, you're doing too much. Or they might be at or they might be at the place where they literally like beneath me, but at the same time, I'm not gonna make you feel small with that. My third growth point would be learning my breaking points and knowing when to actually just stop, you know, stop being so available for people, just stop taking all the BS from people, just simply because they if I did the same thing that they did to me, they ain't gonna put it up with it either. So with me taking in all of this stuff that people are throwing at me, I just learned, just stop before you even break, because I need to build myself. My fourth one, understanding who I want to be as a woman. And like that's been a journey, because you know, going into college, we were CS majors, you know. And high school had this understanding like CS is going to be just like high school. It wasn't. And then I found out like yes, I love computers. I always want to work with computers. So I took that and made a decision like you did. I mean, I don't know if it was like, they're probably not on the, you know, same equal scale, because you had to actually move. I just changed majors, you know, but becoming a mass media major, that was my second option, even before I got to Valdosta State. So it's like, I had to reevaluate myself and be like, okay, what do you want? What do you want from this place? How you gonna get it? What you gonna do? Time is ticking. You got to make a decision fast. And like, you talk to your mom and stuff, and she's like, see, this is your decision. I can't make it for you. So you really, like you said, you got to grow up and be a woman and see what you got going on. Because man, this world gonna swallow you whole if you don't know what you got going on with yourself.
For real.
This year, I want to make this year about myself and my craft. I want to start building my portfolio and just making quality work to, like, you know, have into showcases. Like those are my biggest growth points for this year and last year, I guess.
That's good growth points. Shit, I ain't labeled mine out like that. You're gonna have to run me your outline before we do this again.
No, for real.
I agree with all of that, for real.
And shifting into present times, what are some positive outcomes that came from negative events from last year?
Learning patience. Learning, well, patience is like, you don't have to rush everything. My thing is like, I want to do a lot of things at one time, and I'm still learning that. I haven't mastered it. My head likes to go 1,000 miles per hour. It likes to go zoom, zoom, zoom. And I have to learn that you only can focus on one thing at a time. Like, you have so many ideas, write those ideas out, but just like execute each one by one.
A brick at a time, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I always say, it's stages to this, it's levels to this. You just have to take it time by time. Another one is self-confidence.
Oh yeah.
I would have to say. Like, I have my boost of self-confidence sometimes, but then it's like, damn, you know how you just be looking, or you just be feeling like, dang, I'm not really amount to this. I'm not like this person. I'm not like that person. And it has to take a lot in me. I'm like, man, is you stupid? Like, you don't want to be nobody else. You don't want to be nobody else. You just want to be the better version of yourself. Like, come on, stop thinking of yourself like that. You need to get your act together, get your mental together. You know you're a female, so you have to have your hair done. You have to have your nails done to look good, to feel good. Like, come on. That's all you need to do. It's not going to come all at once. Just start building. And by the time you're 25, 28, 30, like, you are this powerful woman. You have to, like, just take it step by step.
I like that. I really do.
Another one is family time. I'm cherishing family, man. I'm cherishing family for real. And it's like, I've been cherishing my family, but it's like, we have our problems, but I really thought, like, man, we were just messed up, like. But honestly, like, during this and just having spent the time with my family, yeah, they crazy as hell sometimes. But it's like, I have to cherish that. It's people who don't have families out here. It's people who don't have anybody out here. And honestly, I lost a couple of family members due to COVID. And that was hard for me, for real. That was really hard because, thank you. Because, like, I didn't know they was going to go.
Yeah.
I really did not know they were going to go. So family is the biggest thing. You was brought into this world with your family. So you need to cherish them at every moment. And as soon as you cherish your family, everything positive comes your way. Cherish your family and cherish yourself. Cherish yourself as you want people to cherish you. Everything's going to come your way. And another thing is thinking more positive. As easy as that sounds, it's hard. Being positive and just learning to let go and not care. It's like society instilled in us that we have to act a certain way, that we can't do this, that we have to go by this. It's like, why? And our parents, even though they say they didn't instill it in us, and they tried their best to curve that ball, it's still like, man, y'all grew up on this, so y'all putting these placements on us. So it's like, we have to learn a way to be more positive, more open-minded. You have your own life. You are your own life. And once you see what you want in life, you can create. And that's all there's to it. You think positive affirmations. You say positive affirmations. You're going to create those exact words. Everything around you is going to try to mess you up. Everything around you is going to try to cloud your head. Everything around you is going to try to get to you. That is a test. I really didn't want to start meditation and everything, just sitting down on the floor and just like being peaceful and everything. Like with the music and just becoming one. I mean, I know it's going to take some time with that, because you know how you sit on the floor, right? And you try to be by yourself, and all of a sudden your thoughts just start coming into you. But you're going to have to tell your thoughts to shut up for a minute.
Okay, we're going to get off that, and we're going to go into how will you make 2021 different from 2020?
Everything is remote. Everything is online. Like, you can still go to events, but it's like, I don't trust those events. People don't be wearing their masks. People is nasty. I just don't trust that. So it's like, I'm just gonna have to, slither like a snake around to see like what I gotta do. And it's like what you said, you want to focus on more of you and your craft. That's what I want to do. I want to focus on more of me and my craft. And it's not just me alone, but I'm gonna put myself as a priority, because if I put myself as a priority and I'm feeling good, I can spread my joy, my fulfillment to others, which I can bring them into everything I have. Like, I know my passion is something with creativity and business, so I'm trying to narrow that thing down.
When I turned 22 back in November, I had listed, I like to write. So wrote about my day, wrote about the goals that I have for when I turn 22 and what I want to accomplish this year. I didn't wait till the new year because, I felt like, why not now? So for this year, I, wanted to revamp my podcast, come in full force. And it's just been motivating me to, set times and manage my time wisely, because, time is valuable. So with that, it gives me things to do, gives me things to talk about. I get to talk to people and see where their minds are at. And I get to learn people like directly from the source, which it makes me feel good, makes me feel like myself. Also, like you said, grow confidence, which is weird. I'm like, did you read my journal? But yeah, I feel like sometimes I think I have a problem more so like with my weight, and like when I was sick, I dropped weight a lot, and I was happy because I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then once I got back on my medicine and everything, it's like you're trying to find a balance to where you're not overdoing things. I don't like being big because it doesn't make me feel good. But I'm trying to learn and grow my body and whatever. Also, with the meditation stuff, I meditate in bed. I meditate before I go to bed, in my bed.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So I try to find different ways to relieve my stress more and conserve like my energy and direct it towards positive aspects in my life rather than wasting it by being upset or like just thinking about the wrong things. Like those things can wait because they don't hold any real value to me.
They don't.
I also wanted to work on shrinking my circle of people because I feel like me and people, we're not like, I love talking to people, but sometimes when I talk to them too much, like my friends, I think they try to become a part of other relationships in my life. And I don't think I really like that too much. So I just try to keep it contained. What I mean is like, say, for example, if I had a boyfriend or something and I go to somebody for advice or something, now they feel like they're a part of my relationship. And I don't think I really like that.
Oh, yeah. That's what you gotta watch out for real. You just go to them to vent a little bit. You still don't tell all your business, but that's what they would happen. They would think they would have every say so about that. You can't have that.
I don't want to fall into that circle anymore. I want to gain internal peace. Get my body right because this next year I'm gonna be 23. That's my lucky.
Oh Lord. Man, you need to create an episode about that, man. That's all the way from 9th grade. We was waiting to get 23. 23 was the glow up age.
Yes.
Dang, you really there?
It came a little bit too fast for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it's real. It's here and it's in my face, and so I just gotta make sure I get everything ready. And I guess lastly, for making my 21 different from my 20, meeting people that allow me to see things differently. And I met some people last year, and I feel like they helped me grow by letting me be me, by expressing myself the way I wanted to be instead of them pushing their beliefs onto me. So, y'all knew who y'all are. I thank y'all for that. Yeah.
I do want to, like, how you say you want to lose people. I want to gain people. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I got like 3 good people in my group, and that's all I really need, really. But I want to be more like, I want more network. I want more connections,
Like, are you saying like you don't need more friends, but you need more people that we could like, hey, I know that you're specialized in this. Let's link, let's create.
Yes, I want more open minds. I want more conversation. I want more, like, I really want more people around me that's not like, I want different ethnic backgrounds for real, because I want to learn. I just want to learn everything. I'm an open book. I like researching. I like reading. I like learning. I want to learn about different cultures. I just want everything out of this world. Shit, this world, I'm in here. Let me get everything out of it. Yeah, for real.
I agree with that part.
I gotta learn how to be more social, man.
That's hard. It's hard to be social because it's like, I think some people get the wrong idea when you try, and especially, oh my goodness, Danielle, you probably do understand. It's like, I've had like this past week, it just popped up in my head. Like, we some good looking women. I'm not gonna cap and say that we're not. And it's the fact that when people see me, all they see is that beauty aspect, and they don't think like I'm dense enough. Like, I don't carry any weight, and I'm like they like, oh, you should be a model. And I'm like, why? Do you think I'm not smart enough to own the modeling agency? Like, do you not think
that's my girl?
Something else?
That's what we gotta think of for real.
Because it's kind of annoying. Because like, I don't like to brag on myself. I don't like to really be like, oh, I'm so smart that X, Y, and Z. But it's like, I feel like people be testing my intelligence, and I'm like, y'all really need to check yourself. And
but I'm sorry to interject, but that's a good thing.
What's a good thing?
Because if they don't think you know anything, you can go right up under them because they're not going to be looking for you with that. You can swindle the whole operation. You can swindle their whole thing. You can create another thing. They won't even see it coming because they're not looking for you at all.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I ain't got to that part of my life yet, because I just be like, dang, like, I don't know what you thinking up there, but I'm an overthinker, so I'm already got 20 different scenarios in my head of what you thinking about.
You are there because you are overthinking them. That's the point, for real.
Shifting gears and going into the future of 2021, do you have any manifestations for the new year?
The simplified version, be a better version of myself. I just want to grow. That's all I want to do is grow in a positive aspect.
I'm trying to get another job, or a job that pay enough so I can save and get the things that I want for myself and my family. Make sure we straight, really. Let's speak on aspirations. Do you have any?
Just realizing who I am. That's all I want to do, is realizing who I am. Like, not being afraid to be Danielle, you know?
Okay.
You made me feel like I did something there. You know? I just gotta learn to be myself, you know, just step out my shell. And it's like I'm already like beginning to crack out my shell, because I'm not the little girl that I used to be. Honestly, with the help of you, with the help of other strong-headed people, it's like I've been had the strong-headed in me, but it's like, man, I ain't finna deal with them people, so I'm just finna shut up. Like, y'all make me more outgoing, make me speak what I want. Like, I'm not going for none of that shit. Like, you want me to do this? I don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm doing this way. So I just want to be more about myself, you know?
I appreciate that. Y'all, like, you're not the first person to say that. Like, y'all really be giving me a little bit of credit here. Mm-hmm. But I just, you know, when I'm around y'all, I just like y'all to know that the ball is in your court. Like, you have complete control. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something, because you know that you have the ability, you have the intelligence, the drive to do whatever you have to do to get whatever you need to get. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I would say my aspiration is to find internal peace, because nowadays everyone's just competing, and I just want to like compete with myself and be satisfied with who I'm becoming at the end of the day, instead of worrying about trends and keeping up with everybody that's faking it for like their followers or their subscribers or whatever. Like, just being the most authentic me and to be balanced. And yeah, that's my aspiration.
For real, that would drive you crazy, trying to keep up with everybody else. That's what's driving most of these people on the internet crazy. They trying to compete with everybody else. They putting their every move on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever they got out there. I don't even know.
And they letting like normal people who don't even have a chance to get to their level bring them down. Like, they let a lot of negativity like get to them. And I like, not knowing that, I don't know what it is to be a celebrity or anything, but it's the fact that people are gonna hate you whether you're doing bad or good. They're gonna talk whether you're doing bad or good. They're gonna be in your business whether you're doing bad or good. So it's like, just do you and be happy with what you got going on.
Make your money and do you.
Exactly.
Do you. If it ain't hurting you, it's no problem. For real.
I haven't made a vision board this year, but do you have any goals?
Make money. Make a lot of money. Other goal is to budget right and save. Budget and save, and still become who I am. It's a journey. Yeah. It's a journey. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's a journey.
I mean, everything is like, everything that I ask, I think they're interconnected. Like, you can't have one without the other. So
you can't.
It's like, you need all of those. You need to make sure you have a clear view of what you want. And if you can see it, you can have it, you know. Matter of fact, that just brought up another little tidbit from the week. It was a person at my job, and he was telling me, he was like, you should do YouTube because you're so fine and X, Y, and Z. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, okay. So I had to break it down to him to where it was like, you know why I haven't started YouTube yet? Because I want people to listen to me and not just gawk at the fact that I look like this. Like, yeah, okay, I'm cute, but I have stuff to say, and if you can at least listen to me, then you may get the opportunity to enjoy me in both video and audio at the same time. But until then, I want to grow my people and my, my little community of people and support group without the extraness of YouTube and the pressure of YouTube, because podcasts, not a lot of people, like, a lot of people do it, but a lot of people don't do it at the same time. You feel me?
It doesn't even matter because yours is unique. Yours is yours.
Thanks.
For real. I know what he's saying. I know what you're saying. You want people to listen to you and everything. And I agree with that. But you know, your face can add to that.
It can. And I mean, with time. Shut up. with time, a channel will arise. So, I mean, I just think people just be patient. Just be patient with me. And we're going to get there one day. So, we have reached the end of this episode. Do you have any closing remarks?
Be yourself, people. Forget everything. Be yourself. All you gotta do is be yourself. Stop trying to live up for these folks. These folks don't mean nothing to you like that. Be yourself.
Like she said, y'all heard her, be yourself. And my little last remark is remember that this is only the beginning. Hey guys, we're like we're in our early 20s. It's no need to rush. Like, get what you need to get, but don't get discouraged so quickly. This is only the beginning. If you don't have the job that you want right now, or the car, or the family, or the relationship that you want, just build up on those things and remember that this is only the beginning. So I want to say thanks, Danielle, for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah, all right, man.
All right. That's all we have for DBYT tonight. I want to thank everyone who tuned in this week. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at _Sanaa or at my new Instagram for my podcast at DBYT Productions. If you have any comments, suggestions, topics, or questions, feel free to hit me up on either one of my social media platforms. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, you can tune in next week when we discuss body image. That's all I have for you today. I'm Taisha, and I promise I won't bite my tongue.